Oh, I just love the look of glistening green grass. You know the green I'm talking about. Moist with sprinkler water, reflecting the radiance of the sun. In that regard, Louisiana's grass is in a class of its own. Just picture it on a clear summer day. A cold beer in one hand, gazing out from your porch onto the garden you're so proud of. This is the life. Doesn't get much better than this. That's how you feel. A well-kept garden and a cold beer? The ultimate combination. They go hand in hand, just like hot dogs and sporting events. But that grass, it's got a bit of a nerve to it. It doesn't matter how many times you cut it down. It'll always keep coming back and turn your eyes away for a bit. And that's when it'll really sprout up. Up until last week, your garden was perfectly pruned and balanced, symmetrical and pristine. But you wake up the next morning, and you can't even stand to look at what it's become. That's why people work so hard to cut their grass. Like it's some ordeal they've been tasked with by the big man in the sky. Oh. And it never ends. Understand me, Zach? If you want to stop cutting your grass, well, you need to either submit to its growth or force it to wither. That's all humans can really do. Hard work never really gets you anywhere in the big picture. Nothing but wasted efforts. You following me here? Now just be honest with yourself. Be honest, Francis Zach Morgan. Oh, howdy, Zach. So we meet again. Such a touching reunion. Like a little boy who was given up for adoption, finally reuniting with his true parents. Look, even little Willie here is beside himself with joy.
Kaysen!
Oh, dear.
Damn it! I'm gonna kill you!
Hey, let her go! What the hell's gotten into you? Jeez, are you okay?
That should do it. Well, no turning back now. How should we clean this up?
I'm searching the room. This room is pure insanity. Why did you come here, Aaliyah? Remember the real reason you decided to investigate Morgan? We came here to find a missing girl.
Why do you think Jethro here survived?
Why?
I mean, doesn't he look like the kind of guy who'd die first in a horror movie?
He married into the Clarkson family. He didn't possess Clarkson blood, so he had nothing to do with Helena Doman's plan.
The blood purge thing? But if that was all there was to it, then Helena Doman wouldn't have killed anyone but Clark. Yet a ton of the Clarkson gang members died, along with Sheriff Woods. Doesn't add up.
She did whatever it took to achieve her goals. She'd kill if the plan required it. But killing people outside of the Clarkson family was never her ultimate goal was to cut off the Clarkson bloodline. Maybe he was always meant to be an assistant to the goddess.
What, like a servant?
He was the kind of person who was most in his element when he had someone to serve. Even afterwards, he let Patricia take over the estate. As soon as he settled into his role, the townspeople started to respect him. Now they practically revere him, and he's even earned himself a nickname.
So you think his life played out exactly the way Professor... Talk about tragic.
I was so positive, but she isn't here. There is something about this room, though. Agent Jones, what do you think?
Me? I'm not as smart as you. Why are you even asking me?
Are you hiding something?
Of course. Me? Hiding something? Come on.
I thought I would find answers in this room. But I was wrong. This room is only filled with photos of people related to the case. Feels like I'm wandering. Why is Morgan showcasing those and that? If you loved someone from the bottom of your heart, would you ever be able to marry someone else?
Whoa,
I never heard of any kind of motive like that in any other murder case. I just keep feeling like we're being fed a story that he made up in his...
Honestly, without having experienced what that's like, but I'd never try and force love to happen. There are 3.5 billion... There's got to be more than one specific person.
But what if we were talking about pizza? You just discovered the perfect but you aren't allowed to take even a single bite unless you kill someone for the cook.
Have you ever loved someone with a...
What kind of
That's my line.
The one who took her in after the incident was Daniel Clark. He's the one that ended up raising her from... Isn't fate strange? In the end, two people who were completely unrelated...
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder, what is... Go back far enough, we're talking countless generations, marriages...
Humans love to deify the rules they create. It's almost like that's been an unwritten law from the very start. Why did Lise have to die first? What is this?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
This room paints but upon closer look I can see some strange sort of... Was Morgan trying to recreate? If so, there must be a reason for all...
What's that?
A hunting trophy, a brown bear.
Why is it smoking a cigar?
It's probably supposed to represent Philip J.
And the elk is?
Helena Doman.
So that's why it's got such... And this one is Galena Clarkson?
Why did he want to line up corpses that were killed in different places? Red.
You sure it's okay to press that?
Won't know until we try.
Hey, it's Woodstock. Look, a peace sign. Love and peace, man. Even I can figure out what this is from. Grateful Dead and Led Zeppelin. But I shouldn't have to explain it to a
That isn't a peace mark. It's upside down. You don't need to be a music nut to see.
Who says that's the top part? If you're looking from Lisa's head, this is the top part, making it a big, fat...
No, this is the ground.
Where's your proof?
The red seeds. Seeds go in the ground, right? That makes this wall the bottom. Lisa's head is clearly at the top. Period. Also, Agent, Led Zeppelin never played at Woodstock. He's representing a human with a hunting trophy. I feel like I'm looking at a piece of modern art done in really... When Helena Doman returned home, someone must have let her in.
You think that was her brother-in-law, Dan?
I don't know.
Well, alligators did chomp his arm off. He probably had it in for old man PJ, but... You know, I don't think he had anything to do with this.
Why not?
You're making it out to be more complicated than it really is. That's always the problem with people like you. Too smart.
Just get to the point.
Professor R marched straight through the front door to the... She arrived right at her destination using the quickest route possible.
I know. My question is, how was...
Because she's family. It doesn't matter if PJ disowned her. He never stopped loving his son. A father would never abandon his child, no matter how much they fail to fulfill. That's what being a parent is all about. Don't look at me like that. I know, I don't have, but I have a father. He's still back in my hometown, managing the print. He'll be turning 80 soon. He wanted me to take over the place, but I know how this whole, even though I haven't seen him in forever, the minute I go home, he'll welcome.
Anna Graham, the first victim of the Greenvale case. Her body was found like a goddess being worshipped in a... Meanwhile, Lisa Clarkson was found on the bank of a river. The person who gruesomely ended the life of that young woman must...
I completely agree. They both still had their whole lives ahead of them.
The Le Carré case and the Green... According to my investigation, the one key that links... But if we look at the cases from his point of view, we see one more. The red seeds are also present. I believed that he was the one who brought them, but... No, never mind.
He crossed the entire continent and married into the Clarkson family, but then the love of his life became a drug addict. And she too was murdered as part of her big brother's conspiracy. Finally, in order to prove that he could take responsibility for the family, who got blown to bits soon afterwards, and to add insult to injury, if I had to go through all that?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
He found someone he loved so much, He moved across the entire continent. It also seems that he was eventually able to make an identity. After I found his daughter's body, I interrogated him for a bit. When I told him we were gonna do an autopsy on her body, I remember him looking relieved and tired. Kinda like someone who'd... She planned a string of murders all in order to restore the Clarksons to their former glory, right?
Yeah. According to Morgan's story. Matches up with the files, too.
But the only proof of that is the confession. Galena Clarkson was also murdered immediately. Don't you think it's all a little...
Well, story-wise, yeah.
And the sacrifices. None of the FBI's official records contain an example, aside from the cases that Francis Zack...
There are tons of examples of animals. And remember the witch hunts back in the Middle Ages?
Meaning?
Meaning, there are always... And Morgan alluded to the existence of some sort. I think he said he read it in Professor R's lab. If we could find that,
The report didn't mention anything about it, and if it truly did exist, it surely would have been submitted as evidence. Unless he tried to cover it up or...
Unless the journal...
Exactly. He was taught how to rule as a child. Then he prospered so much that he became powerful, but in the end his own child betrayed. If that was your life, how would you look back on it?
Yeah. I wasn't born into a rich family, nor was I ever... And for what it's worth, I've also never knocked up a young ex-actress. But I guess the one thing we can say is that get too hung up on one thing and you lose sight of everything else. And someone thinks they can step all over people and then live out the rest of their... We always get to see how those people end up in our line of work. In the end, that is why pizza is the only thing I trust.
This case took place in Lucare. Instead of oppressive authority, but Katrina took the truth along with many innocent. But there's one truth that can never be. This all started with the death of... Galena Clarkson went to California to become an actor, but things never took off for her, so she eventually returned home. Then she murdered her own daughter and ended up like this. Where did she go wrong?
She did manage to appear in a few movies, right?
Not as any characters with actual names.
So that's the only value they saw in her, huh?
It's an everyday occurrence in that she was also bullied a lot.
Bullied?
They'd cut up her costumes, her scripts, and even her own everywhere she went. Then after 3 years of that, her stylist chopped off a chunk of her hair.
Are you kidding me?
I did a little investigating on it. In the end, a self-titled big cheese... She almost ended up going into...
Not hard to imagine what would have happened.
One witness said that after returning to Lucare, she refused to use scissors to cut... Why did she believe what Professor R... The whole blood purge story? There's no way anyone in their right mind would ever believe...
You got a point.
No matter how badly all the bullying must have broken her heart. Don't you?
Yeah, but you shouldn't think too hard about it.
Why not?
Human beings don't make sense. We always do things that can't be explained with... especially when it concerns our parents.
No matter how irrational an action may be, I want to know... Otherwise, what hope do we have?
You're never going to be in a situation where everything makes perfect. Just stop sticking your nose so deep. That's my advice, as an old guy who's lived twice as long as you.
You and I are nothing alike. You decided to give up on your life and spend the rest of your time on Earth sitting around and playing... Everyone thinks that but in point of fact, Now I know why Lise Clarkson was murdered first. Lisa's death was Professor R having sex. According to Morgan, her plan was to then commit suicide. Which means she technically could have killed Patricia. That would have been the best way to delay any interference from the Clarksons themselves. The reason she didn't kill Patricia first is because or perhaps she merely changed her plan as at some point, new emotions started to take root within her. She had second thoughts about something, and in order to shake those off, she used Galena in order to cut off any possible escape. But that only made her plan move ahead quicker than which forced her to rush right up to the end.
Huh? Wait. Yeah, you lost me. What are you talking about?
In other words, at some point, Helena Doman decided that she wanted the blood purge wasn't for the goddess of fertility.
Wait, are you saying Helena knew from the start that Sheriff Woods would...
That's the only explanation.
Huh.
Remember, this is only assuming that everything Morgan told. Until I can trust that man, this is all nothing more than conjecture.
Considering how insane this all is, it sounds perfect.
Francis Zach Morgan. Remember me? Oh, cat got your tongue. Understood. You know why I'm here, don't you? Surely you must know what this means. To commemorate our reunion, allow me to give you another oracle. The contract, once signed, will last for eternity, but only in the presence of true love. Did you hear that? Good. It's been a while since I felt this. You know, there's hardly anyone in this era who can see me like you can. And they've been dropping like flies since you first came to see me. Breaks my heart. We don't have much time. Do you have any questions for me? Excellent. You pass. You haven't changed, Francis Zach Morgan. But that question isn't for me to answer. Go and see it with your own eyes. Oh, time's up. We'll have to finish this during our next reunion.
Oh, this is bad.
Agent Jones, what is this?
Avery Smith kidnapped Patricia Clarkson.
Avery Smith? The vault? Why would he kidnap Patricia? Tell me what's going on right now. Answer me, Jones.
I made a deal with Morgan back when he took me to the bathroom.
What? What?
Morgan said if we want to find Patricia, we need...
Have you lost your mind?
What? Ever since 2005, he was also arrested in the past for getting too... And after Katrina, he apparently worked on... What if that allowed him to freely... That would explain why her body remained... Then, I did a little check and found out...
So what? Why would you trust him?
I just decided it was worth investigating that. So, I sent 2 agents to Avery's house. I just called in a favor from an old friend in the New Orleans.
No one gave you clearance for that. You think you can just...
But what if Morgan's If he is, we're both gonna look like total clowns who went barging into a former agent's house on completely HQ will have a field day with us. They'll string us up as the two dumbest agents. I just wanted to take some... And besides, if he is lying, it's still no skin on, right? If things work out, we'll end up solving a difficult case that's been driving... Imagine that! You and me, just the two of us. I'll be able to jump ship on this crappy job, and you'll be able to freely investigate all things Sam. Besides, you know that Morgan is Director Abraham's Even if we get into some sort of trouble, if Morgan testifies...
I don't care. This isn't the way things...
Well, I'm sorry. But I had no other choice. You were so engrossed in this, and... Besides... Saving the hostage should... We need to find Avery Smith no matter what it takes.
But how? Thanks to your heroic maneuvers, we just lost our suspect.
I know, but...
I know how to find him. I should be able to see the other world. Just let me go.
Morgan?
It's okay, my fairy. I know I can convince them. I don't have much time. I'm pretty sure that's why I'd lost that sense ever since the Greenvale incident. Please, will you just trust me? Come on, Simon. You'll trust me, won't you?
No, Agent Jones. Remember you can't let him take control of the conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Please, Aaliyah Davis, let me... This is our case to finish.
No, you aren't an agent.
But neither of you ever could.
Oh, I'll find him. I swear on my pride as an active agent that I won't...
That won't get you any... It's beyond you.
Shut up. You think we can't find him, but you can't. Just how stupid do you think we are? If you want us to believe you, then it's about time you showed us some proof. If your story is true, then why did Avery Smith kidnap
Patricia resembles Lise. I even got them confused, and Lise reported being stalked by a 10-foot...
That's Avery Smith?
Exactly.
But he's only 6'7", and his physical characteristics don't match the person you're talking about.
I once concluded but now I know that he protected Lisa's body for the past until you discovered his...
So after losing Lisa's body, that's ridiculous. Is that even if Avery did possess that sort of mentality, if Lisa was really that important to him, he would have tried to steal her back. Not now, maybe.
Would you be able to go on worship that ice was a barrier?
You said that she was the mastermind, that her convictions about the Clarkson bloodline are...
Yes, that's right.
She instigated her younger sister into killing her own... Then she committed suicide immediately after, hoping that Sheriff Woods would be able to... How could one call such an unpredictable series? And as we saw, Sheriff Woods chose a fate that...
No, he didn't. In the end, things went
What do you mean?
At a certain point, so she tried to but then, she and I both... That's why I'm here right now, trying in order to save Patricia. Hey, Belle. Last week, I went back to Lucare. Then I bought a used car. But I wasn't stalking Patricia.
Then why would you go there? Why would you risk so much, especially...
Because, once again, I'm...
Sang Rouge?
Even after I quit the FBI. And now, I've come to the conclusion that I also found proof that someone's in... That's why I flew to Lucare. To confirm, but I was more powerless than I ever could have imagined. I couldn't move like I used to. No back. So, after wandering aimlessly around...
You expect me to believe...
I know you've got...
What's that supposed to mean?
You found Lise Clarkson's body. And only a few days after discovering the body, you should be fully capable of
Talking much about oneself can also... You can't trick me.
When I first met PJ Clarkson, how did I feel? I just thought, oh, so this is what it feels like. He had a very unique aura. It's the kind of feeling you get when you come face to face with a legend. So I was also able to sense the brighter the light, the more he shined, the more the people around. The heat was just so intense that it forced. But Patricia was different. She greeted travelers with a warm, I'm going to save her, even if I need to walk through a bullet to get there.
You said that someone inherited the Saint Rouge. Is that someone Avery Smith?
It has to be. Avery used to help Professor R do research in secret.
What? Well, that wasn't in...
I only realized it just now. The moment Avery revealed that he was helping. Now that I look back on it.
What makes you think that?
He had free access to the deepest parts of the cold...
Oh. Saint Rouge needs to be produced in an extreme...
Exactly. Aaliyah Davis. That's why you investigated the cold storage in order to locate where Saint... Then, you came across Lisa's...
What?
Many different characters pop up, and I mistook one of them for someone else.
What are you talking about?
After Simon hit me and I fainted, now I'm convinced. I'm the Fool. The Fool King was always meant to be an outsider who suddenly... And the man she felt a need to... Lena realized her plan was... She also guessed that I would be able to save. The one worry that remained in her heart was Lee. Especially since she would be left behind with Avery. She wrote that journal entry hoping that and she wrote it in a specific way. Lena and Melvin both entrusted me, so please, just let me go.
Who do you think benefited most from...
Many lives were lost.
You really believe that?
Everyone who survived.
Without exception?
Isn't that right, my fairy?
I feel like you're the one person who benefited from... You were able to add a new chapter to your That's what allows you to go on using his intel network.
Are you seriously suggesting that? Sickness is destroying my body. Yet, somehow, I'm unable whittling down what's left of my life. You really think I'm doing all this for nothing? Is that really what you're...
I understand what you're trying to say. But it's too perfect. It's too perfect, just like that report of yours. How could you come to such a detailed conclusion after spending years shut up in this room? It doesn't make sense. The only possible explanation is that you're bending the narrative in the direction you want it to go.
Why do you think I left the field for 2 years after Greenvale? That case cost me not only my best friend, but also my special talent. I never thought I'd lose something like that. But ever since then, I've been unable to solve cases.
Metaphysical offender profiling.
I tried everything I could think of to regain my lost talent. But it never came back to me. That's why I quit working for the FBI. And without anywhere else to go, I simply spent searching for an answer I'd never find. So, time continued to cruise. I thought it was all over for me. But about half a year ago, everything started with the red seeds. He and I encountered these seeds under the seething, mind-melting sun of Louisiana. Then, for some reason, and instantly, I could see the other world again. Get it? Through allowing the cancer cells to ravage my body, I regained the power. This is the only answer, Aaliyah. Truth is a surprise, born from...
Two bizarre cases derailed your... Must have been extremely painful. You have my deepest condolences, but that doesn't put you in the clear. You're still a suspect.
A suspect? Patricia isn't here.
The murders of Sheriff Melvin Woods and Candy Woods. Their bodies were never recovered. Katrina carried them away, along with many other lives. Aside from that report you wrote, there's nothing that proves your innocence.
Hey, let's not jump to conclusions.
Oh, I'm not. I also suspect there's a possibility that he murdered individuals connected to other cases that he's worked. The Greenvale report bears the same and both cases are filled with victims whose deaths...
Stop. If you so much as mention her name...
If I mention it, then...
You will. Belle, Special Agent. You're exceptionally talented. You found Lisa's body, then discovered the reds. You even noticed that there was someone else in this room. You've got amazing intuition. You're a hunter, but you still can't perceive the... That's all there... Simon, look inside that trash can.
Huh? The trash can?
It's right behind you. Then you'll know for sure that I'm telling the truth. We told you not to touch the sanction!
What's on that? What is it, Agent?
F.K.
Contact a local agent. There are still agents investigating. Trust me. That's where...
Trust you?
Ask Aaliyah Davis. Ask her about the name of the...
What do you mean?
You're from Chicago, and you love especially deep dish pizza.
What does this have to do with pizza?
Just ask her. And ask her why she decided to take this case in the first place. Got it? Pizza will never betray you. So you need to trust it, too.
But how could you have known that I would come here with her?
I didn't. I just bet on you.
God damn it.
Hey! Tell me what's going on right now, Agent Jones!
Thank you, my fairy. Car key, Simon.
Let me go!
Don't worry. Just trust in the pizza. I'm the anonymous tipper. F.K.
It's on the corner of 3rd Street. 69 Pontiac GTO.
You've got excellent taste. Lend me your gun, too.
Agent Jones! Don't you see what you're doing here? This is a severe obstruction of justice. You're violating the FBI code.
Yeah, Aaliyah, I know, but pizza will never betray me.
Pizza?
Tell Abrahams to prepare a private jet for me at the airport. I know Robert won't turn his back on me.
Wait, Morgan, are you serious? The chief would never lend out a private jet to a civilian I
have to leave you for a bit, my fairy. They'll be fine. They'll figure it all out. York, can you hear me? I'm going to go finish the job you started. That makes us even, okay? York, she really is a genius agent. She's probably going to end up being an even better agent than we were. She just needs more experience under her belt. She's still only pursuing the world she can see with her naked eye. She needs to experience more frustration. She needs to strengthen herself. On the other hand, Simon's much smarter than he looks. No wonder he was able to go on watching us for 4.5 years. All that struggling under the surface paid off in the end. Do you want to know why he decided to start trusting me? It's simple. It's all because of the name I used to send the tip to the FBI. It's the name of that pizza parlor, the Chicago-style place with those trademarked crimson boxes. Franklin's Kitchen. FK. Yet again. They've got the best deep dish pizza in the area. Both Simon and I love that place. That's why I told him, pizza will never betray you. Will it, York? York. It's almost... I'll be there soon. Watch my back, will you? This is going to be my... So I'm this far gone, huh? But unlike 14 years ago, I feel more at home in this world.
Your I'll show.
you.
Yeah.